gonna sound, but it's not anything. Well, it is something. Let me get on with it. Last night I had a dream about Tori. Yeah. I've never dreamt about Tori before, and I've known her for years. But she was in my dream last night. I went to sleep early for a change. And she told me this morning that she put on this jacket at the charity auction last night. And I said, well, what time was that? And she said around about 10:30. And I was fast asleep by 10:30. And I had a dream about her when she put the jacket on. So that's about it. I mean, it's just pretty...
It was the ball costume, if any needs to be to the track room that we have that came from Prop Works that Cliff actually wore, that Tori was wearing. That's kind of cool.
It's just quite a strange thing, you know? But I believe in that kind of stuff. We're sensitive.
Do you want me to tell you what that dream was about?
I don't know if she had a few balls in her hands.
It's performance anxiety. I've had the same dream myself.
Well, okay then. You have a mic at this end.
What?
You have a mic at that end.
Sure.
Apparently.
We are honored to have Mr. Anderson here with us today.
That was the guy who accosted me in the bathroom.
Hi guys. We're going to go straight to questions. We're going to run this a little differently than we have with the rest of you performers. Since we're taking questions from the audience and asking them from the podium. Well, it's not the podium, but anyway. So the first question we have to kick off the day is, when you got involved in Stargate, did you have any idea what you were getting into? As far as all this goes, I mean, did you ever imagine sitting here with crazy people?
No, I had no idea what I was getting into. I first went to a panel at Dragoncon, and it was probably twice the size of this room. And it's the first time I've ever been up in front of this many people. And the show hadn't come out yet, or my episodes hadn't come out yet, and it was the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen. And I knew it was. I had to deal with it. All right.
I remember we had a similar experience when the first Comic-Con I did was before Atlantis aired, and we went up to San Diego, or down to San Diego, and the studio had taken us all out for dinner the night before, so, we're actors, free food, free alcohol, we indulge. I remember being so hungover the next day I could barely speak, and we thought, we have to do this panel. I figured there'll be 10, 20 people, the show's not on the air. They opened the door. It was, big. It was like a football field of you guys. And none of us could speak, right? I was screaming.
I peed a little bit.
But that was the beginning, and terrifying and wonderful.
I had no idea what we were getting into. But walking on set and meeting guys like Rick and everybody, it was almost like, the guys who were coming out of battle, and then the guys who were going in. Good luck, rookie. Right, but, I didn't know what we were getting into, and so I invited the cast over before we started doing the show, and I screened Galaxy Quest. And at the end of it, Tori's next to me, she turns to me kind of slowly, and she says, I don't know if I should laugh or cry. I think that kind of sums it up.
You asked if we expected this out of conventions.
Well, did you ever see a day when you'd be, having such a fan response and how huge the franchise has gotten?
Oh,
Or the franchise did get it?
Yeah, right at the beginning for me, when I joined the show, the first show I did was in Germany, and I was there with Peter DeLuise and Michael Shakespeare, and of course Peter being Peter. It was completely overwhelming for me, because it's I mean, in South Africa, the show I was on, because South Africa is so much smaller, it was very, very popular. You know, you couldn't go anywhere. And we'd done talks to big crowds of people, 50,000 people in soccer stadiums and that kind of stuff. But it's a different, the sci-fi genre is so different, it's so much more intense. So yeah, I was completely overwhelmed with all of that. And I mean, the way the show is just, you guys have just kept it alive. It's amazing.
Experience with Stargate fans. I was involved in another minor science fiction. I had some experience, and when the first convention I went to for the other franchise, the name of which I will not speak, I remember I think 3 episodes of the show had aired, and about 1,500 or 2,000 people in Boston stood up and cheered as I walked onto the stage, and I thought, who would not like this? I live with 3 women who pay very little attention to anything I say. So to go into a large room of people and have you hang on my every word is a delightful experience.
What was the question? Honestly, is anybody else having a hard time understanding? Is the acoustic situation in here terrible? Let's go outside. Seriously, I don't even know what the question is.
When you got started with Stargate, can you hear? This is why you should be sitting here. I can hand you these like this. When you got started with Stargate, did you have any idea how huge it was going to become? And did you foresee all this? Or did you hope for all this? Or are you afraid of all this?
Yes. Any questions? No, I didn't have any idea. I didn't even know. Well, MGM called me because they had made a movie that was had a bit of a kind of a cultish hit with Kurt Russell and Spade. And when they asked me to do the Jack role, I said I'd be happy to, but you're going to have to be trusting in that. First of all, my hair won't do that. And I quit smoking a long time ago, so that was easy to write out. But as far as its growth, we had 2 franchises working for us out of the box. And the movie, and then they said that the MacGyver audience was pretty loyal. So we had pretty good standing at the beginning.
All right, looking back on all 3 series involved in the franchise, were there any other roles other than the ones you played, or 20 or 40, that you would like to have played during the time you were on Stargate, or during the run of Stargate? You can't understand.
I'm right here, I can't understand you.
Should I just take this mic?
It's not.
Can you hear? Wait. Can you hear me any better? Okay. Kill this one. Okay, it's dead. How do I phrase that? Okay. During the run of Stargate in all 3 series in the franchise, were there any other roles other than the ones, what I said, that you played that you would like to have explored yourself? Who would you have played other than Ronan, Weir, etc.?
I would like to play Ronan.
I would have liked to have played Tori's role. She worked 1 day a week, it was great.
Yeah, follow.
some of our audience questions. This one is just for Robert Picardo, as a follow-up to what you said earlier about your Unnamed series. To Robert Picardo, how does it feel being so awesome? Do you just call any show you want and tell them to give you a part?
I checked out at Awesome.
You should keep this.
Make a copy.
Put that thing in a plaque,
You
buddy.
just any show you want and tell them. No. Here's what it's like to be awesome. What I do is I can just check into any hotel room anywhere in the world and just I'm delighted to be there by myself. I call people up and I tell them, guess who I'm in the room with? Robert Picardo. Do I just call on any show? No, but apparently the producers of Stargate did watch the other show that I was on, and why they picked me from that to play the biggest dick ever introduced. Stargate, I don't know, because I thought I was kind of lovable in the other show. But then once they decided they liked having me around, they had painted themselves into a terrible corner where they'd introduced me as a big dick, and then they had to kind of back off of that. So slowly they rehabilitated me, and then I got to take over.
For Mr. Anderson, you got your start as Jeff Weber on General Hospital. How does working on a soap opera compare to the other work or shows that you have done? This is from Bob and Nikki.
Technically, I'll start there. Technically, it's different in that, first of all, I did General Hospital in the 70s, so I was still a bit affected by the late 60s. So that took some adjusting right there. But no, you all know this, right? You're doing a soap opera, you show up in the morning, you hopefully have the script the night before. If not, you pick it up, go through it, then you rehearse. I think then you go to somewhere else and then come back and rehearse again, and then someplace else, come back and dress rehearse, and then shoot it. It's all in my book, I swear. But like doing a television, I almost said a real television show. It's just a different schedule. You're shooting like a miniature movie throughout the course of a week, so you can dole it out and use greater locations, whereas soap operas are all in a box, pretty much, as I recall. But I don't know, the money's different, I guess. I hear. I didn't mean to be so flippant about that, but it's my nature. Yeah.
All right. For any panelist who'd like to answer, what was the best piece of advice you were given when cast on your Stargate show? And who gave it to you?
Don't do it.
Advice
I am
for
dog.
The best piece of advice you were given about joining the Stargate group franchise?
Nobody gave me any advice to do it.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if Rick may or may not remember this. As you can see, sometimes he doesn't remember all the details. But we were on an airplane together, traveling back and forth between LA and Vancouver, and he had been doing Stargate for, I don't know, 137 years, how long ago? It was the longest running show ever. And I think he said something to the effect of, don't let them give you all that gobbledygook dialogue. Be bad at it, and then they won't give it to you.
First of all,
Got me through 5 years. Thank you, Rick.
I've never used the word gobbledygook in my life. Just set the details straight. No, but it's true. I was told early on by a soap opera actor that I was working with when I first started out, and they kept piling on tons and tons of dialogue on me. I'm the new kid on the block, right? So I'd go home and just study, and come home and go to work and study, and then just go through a torturous 3 years, and then signed on for 2 more for some reason. And then I finally asked this guy, his first name was Brett, go figure. And he just said, I asked him the same question. I said, why do you get off saying yes and no and And he said, well, you made the mistake of proving that you could do it. That was my mistake. So, play dumb.
Clearly, we are all fans of Stargate. What shows, television shows, are you fans of, or if you're not a TV person, what books?
What fans are we of? I only watch South Park, The Simpsons, and American Dad. Family Guy, I'm sorry. 100% Family Guy. That's all I like. That's for me, I get entertained by that. I don't have the time or the patience actually to get involved in any kind of series, but there are some good shows for sure.
Anything on Adult Swim.
I'm a little more highbrow than Cliff. I watch South Park. I've become an aficionado of the regular show. Okay. Regular show. This man over here, in addition to not having too much dialogue, which is great, also doesn't have a television at home. So when I make these references often, he doesn't know that. I send smoke signals to Jason. Get a cell phone.
This is kind of weird, but I'm actually a really big fan of Game of Thrones. And kind of dorky to say that, but I'm a fan of Game of Thrones.
I like Homeland. I watch Homeland. Which is really cool. I also watch Family Guy because this guy got me started on it. And I watch South Park, and I watch a lot of MSNBC, and then I would watch Netflix. I'm catching up on season 5 now of 24.
Say, I don't really have a television, and I just discovered this thing called Netflix that you can watch shows, and I recently discovered this show which is pretty cool called Mad Men. I'm like 10 years behind. This is other show I'm looking forward to watching called Sopranos. I don't think SG1 is after that. Catch up.
What's the new show with, I think it's HBO thing, but it's got the word news in it? Best show on television right now.
I actually have seen that one. That's awesome. It's really Jeff Daniels, right? He's amazing. Amazing.
Okay, a question for Jason. Since you're speaking close, I can hear me.
sort of mid-Atlantic. And I'm pretty good with my lines. I usually know them and I usually get them out. And it was the pilot and I was nervous. It was the first scene we had together. We were walking through a corridor and I messed up my line. And the first thing on my mouth, because I didn't want to say, F or, that word. I don't know how many kids are here. So I said, oh, bugger me. You grabbed me, you threw me against the wall. I have not said bugger me since. I just learned that's not a phrase that you guys say over here. You say fuck me.
I was that bad. Which way did I throw you against the wall? I remember that.
You illustrated the phrase for me.
That was the beginning of Sexual Harassment Tuesday. Which became a tradition on the Stargate set.
I think I was blushing so deeply, they had to I didn't lose my breath for about a week.
What?
Hey, Rick, this is a question for you, Rick. Can you hear me? How awesome was it to work with Joe Flanagan?
It was so awesome, I don't remember it. I had a great time with him. No, we flew around. Most of our scene was in a up on the mountain, right? A lot of our work was on location. And the most fun about that was being on location, I think.
That was a rhetorical question.
No, I felt obligated to answer it. It was awesome. So awesome.
To the whole panel, what is your favorite quote from Stargate? Joe?
Cut. Oh, maybe, hey, back off, Chewie.
Cargo.
Do you think?
Was anybody at the banquet last night? Hear Robert sing and dance? Well, you didn't dance, actually. Would you please? Oh, you guys, I don't remember anything. You know that. I just, it's just not in there. So, yeah, sure you bet, as she said. But I like Joe's. Indeed. These one-word quotes.
Mine was when I said, what was that just off the top of your head? And then I cut off a puff as I said. I thought that was pretty cool. It's typical of pop.
Oh, I have one. I'm
Okay.
just saying, ball as in ball? Bocce? Oh, that's right. See, I don't know my lines.
I am honored that that's the only thing you remember.
Ball.
Fantastic.
Okay, moving on. What would your advice be to an aspiring actor or director in science fiction.